Hello, guys. So on the way home, it's a dreary day. I'm tired, and I gotta be honest, I don't particularly like what I'm doing at work. Um, so what makes me happy is doing this, free balling. So I wanted to talk about the whole Russia thing again. This is like Russia. I mean, there are interesting developments. So one of the developments has been that Clinton apparently has briefed the electors on Russian involvement in the U.S. election. I find this to be fascinating, to be honest. We've had we've had candidates do weird stuff to get into elections before. So Nixon went behind LBJ's back in order to prolong the war. He essentially tried to squash the deal that LBJ was trying to make. Because his thought was, if the war is continuously going, he has a better chance of winning the election. And Nixon was right. Nixon did have a better chance. And LBJ's tapes, you can hear him say it was treasonous. Pissed about it. If I'm not mistaken, Reagan did the same thing to undercut Carter to give himself a better chance by essentially whatever he did to keep those hostages from being released. So that's one aspect of this. The second aspect of this, she's trying to, at least I think she's trying to, kind of make this case to get the electors to willingly say, no, I'm not voting for him. I don't know how I feel about that, to be honest. And on some degree, I like it because it's strong. It's politically strong. If you think that the apocalypse is looming if Trump takes office, and you've seen the people that he's putting up to take that office, and they're deplorable. They are deplorable. Then what do you do to avoid the apocalypse? I'd imagine you'll do whatever the hell you would need to do. So in her case, she's saying, I would imagine she's making two arguments. So one argument is, hey, I beat the shit out of them with the popular vote by like over 2 million votes, which is true. The second argument she's making, look, they interfered with the election. And that's the part where I lose, where she loses me. Yes, Russia hacked the DNC. Well, maybe the DNC. Maybe. We haven't seen the evidence. But that's what they're putting out. They're saying that. We don't know that to be true because we haven't seen the evidence for it. But let's say it's true. Let's say Russia did hack Podesta. It wasn't like stuff that was released in those emails wasn't pertinent information. It was information that was pertinent to making a choice. Hillary Clinton had speeches to Wall Street. Hillary Clinton didn't want people to see those speeches. Those speeches were released. And those speeches were as gross as we thought they were going to be. They're still true. So it's almost like those are two separate issues. Yes, did Russia hack the DNC or hack Podesta? Maybe. And even if you say yes, the information that contained was true. At the end of the day, Podesta, Clinton, they did say those things. Clinton did accept all that money for favors. Bill Clinton was getting all that money in order to access government. It's true. To be honest, Hillary Clinton could be locked up over those emails. I mean, in regards to what was in those emails, because those emails showed flagrant corruption in regards to, here's a bunch of money, and then here's a favor for Saudi Arabia. Here's a bunch of money. Here's a meeting with the Moroccan, whoever, I think it was king or something. Here's a bunch of money. Clinton didn't want to go because it looked bad, so she said Bill Clinton. Like, it was over and over and over, so brazen. At one point, Chelsea was like, hey, this looks a little weird. And the guy who was there was like, Chelsea's a spoiled brat because Chelsea is running her mouth and trying to investigate all the corruption that's built into the Clinton Foundation. The second part to this, it deserves a little bit more context. So Hillary Clinton, and let's say the U.S. government for the most part, the United States, is complaining that Russia interfered with the U.S. election by hacking emails. United States interfered with elections. Let's talk about Iraq. By killing upwards of 1 million people and spending $6.6 trillion to attack a country that had nothing to do with us in regards to 9/11 and depose that government. That's not even the first. Like going back to Iran, the United States deposed the Shah in Iran. Literally, the CIA went into Iran, got rid of the Shah because the Shah, not the Shah, got rid of a democratic elected president because that democratic elected president wanted to make a new deal with the oil revenue with BP. He wanted that money to go towards some of the people in the country. And they were like, whoa, you're sounding like a communist. Sounds like you need some freedom. And so what the United States did, the CIA fomented a revolution in the country, deposed that guy, put in a strongman, essentially a dictator that was willing to play ball. The United States have done this in South American countries, left and right. They call them banana republics for a reason, because the United States would essentially depose a government and then have corporate goons come in order to rape that country of their resources. Usually it's easier to have a dictator in because a dictator can essentially say, yeah, you can come in and you can do this stuff to our resources. It's weird to me that a country that has a history and current history of literally deposing democratic elected governments, usually doing it for some kind of corporate reason. There's War's a Racket, and the guy talks about, I think it's Spunky Bowles, military guy. He talks about how in many of the countries that he went into, it had nothing to do with freedom, it had nothing to do with democracy, it had nothing even to do with our government. It had everything to do with corporate profits. Essentially, our military functioning as an arm of some kind of corporate wing, allowing corporate interests to go into these countries and essentially take what they want in other countries. We were deposing governments. Even recently, there was a plan. I think it's called. I can't think of the name. But essentially, the idea was Republicans or neocons wanted to essentially revamp the Middle East by destroying and deposing all those dictators, ending with Iran. And if you look at it, for the most part, they've done that. In the document, it's called, I can't think of the name of the document, but essentially their idea was if they had a catalyzing event, kind of like a Pearl Harbor, they'll be able to go in and just revamp the Middle East. And that's what they did done. Even Obama has added to it. Obama has essentially maintained the Bush policies in this regard. Are we really talking about emails? Like, that's what blows my mind. We're talking about emails? You're killing people. And we're talking about emails. Oh, they hacked us. Those damn Russians hacked us. You are fucking killing people. You killed 1 million people. And I'm saying you, meaning this country. We, the military, under our name, killed 1 million innocent people. We are right now at this moment bombing like 7 countries. We are killing people with flying killer robots. We spend ungodly sums of money on the military. I think it's like $1 trillion a year if you include back budgets. But they hacked our email account, so, we can invalidate the election. And look, I don't want Trump to take office. But if I'm looking at it just purely from the sake of fairness, I don't know if you have a leg to stand on. And I'm highly doubtful that those electors are going to go along with it. And look, I think Trump is a disgusting human being, man. And if he had a heart attack today, I'd thank God for it. But let's not pretend that Hillary Clinton is going to be the savior of sorts. And if her first task to get in office is to foment a war with Russia, look, man, it sounds like she's red baiting. And it looks like the Democratic Party is red baiting too, because they don't want to come up to the conclusion that she was a horrible fucking candidate. And in the same way that you're trying to say that Trump didn't get the electoral votes and everything else, you're you're trying to find a back door into the presidency. And the way you're trying to find that back door into the presidency is positioning you in a way of conflict with Russia. So, look, man, yeah, you may keep your Obamacare, but do you really care if you keep your Obamacare if you end up in a goddamn war with with Russia? I mean, come on. So, look, I think both of them are horrible. And at the end of the day, yes, I think Trump is worse because Trump is racist. And we're assuming that in 4 years there's going to be another election. He's a fascist. He's a strongman fascist that has a short temper and thin skin. He's the worst case scenario in regards to democracy. But we can't pretend that we have a functioning democracy. We can't. I mean, what aspect of this looks like a functioning democracy? The guy who's most hated with the least votes is going to take office. He was able to take office because in many of the states they were able to shift people off the rolls, and they were able to keep minorities from voting because minorities tend to vote Democrat. I mean, it's all sorts of shenanigans that, you know, the parties in power essentially are the ones who run the election. Those parties have a vested interest in how that election turns out. Why the hell would you have somebody with a vested interest in how the election turns out run the election? The two-party system are two corporations that have a vested interest in excluding third parties. Those corporations essentially run the debates, in which case they exclude third parties from the debates. This shit is not a functioning democracy. I don't care how it looks. And at the end of the day, whether Hillary comes up with some shenanigans to take it, or whether Trump takes it, if Hillary finagles her way into that office, there will be blood on the streets. And maybe some of that blood will be well earned. I mean, I'm just saying, man, this sounds a little dicey to me. A lot of this stuff sounds dicey to me. The whole fake news thing, the whole, it's Russia did it. Own it! You lost! You were a horrible fucking candidate, and you lost. Go away. Go away. You guys are responsible for this monster taking office. Because instead of picking the best candidate, you decided you wanted to go with the most corporatist, because you know that other candidate wasn't going to essentially cater to Wall Street interests. It wasn't going to be bought. I'm talking about Bernie Sanders, of course. But still, it's the point that you lost, and you're still hanging around. And you're not hanging around because you're talking about the people in Dakota, or you're talking about anything of substance. And I think the most damning thing in those emails was the lack of anything about actual people. You didn't talk about anything. You were concerned about your goddamn donors. And the only thing you were concerned about is how things looked, the optics. No substance at all. None. Zero. Read the Podesta emails. They're a gross, sad display of what the Democratic Party is. Empty. Soulless. They don't stand for a goddamn thing. So, am I gonna, woohoo, that Hillary is trying to find a way to sneak into the... No. I don't have a dog in this hunt. And at the end of the day, I'm just here to say balls and strikes. That looks fair, that looks unfair, and to give context. And right now, what my context tells me is the United States has murdered a lot of people. The United States is currently murdering a whole lot of people. The United States has deposed a lot of governments over the last 50 years. And regardless of this idea of freedom, democracy, that shit is an illusion. So, I don't know what's going to come of this whole Clinton thing. I don't think much is going to come of it. I think Trump is going to still take office. Whether he's delegitimized or not, doubtful. I severely doubt that Republicans are going to go along with it. Only one chance. If the deal is Mike Pence takes charge. That's the only way they're going to go with it. What are they going to do? Go along with the plan and put in a Democrat? No, that's not going to happen. So Hillary Clinton, go away. Go the fuck away. Go away. You've ruined us enough. You've caused all this shit already. Go the fuck away. You couldn't beat a goddamn reality show host. And now he's going to be president. And the things that he's potentially going to do, oh man, are going to be ghastly. And that shit is on your back. That shit is on all your back. In fact, all the Democrats that went along with the whole rigging of the primaries and everything else, this is on you, man. This is on you. Go away. Leave. Go the fuck away. You've done enough. Alright. Bye, guys.